Hi guys, this is Bobby with Bobby Stamps, and I am here to share with you my third free make and take for February. So it's this adorable little treat box. I just think this guy is so cute. So you just untie it right here. Now I used one of the punches to create like the little finger opening, but you don't have to do that. You could just leave it, but it will hold some candy, some treats, a little present, something, you know, that would fit inside there. It is just so cute. I love it. So how this works is I offer these every month. If you place an online order with me in my online store, I always do these make and takes. So if you spend $25, you earn one make and take. If you spend $35, you earn two. And if you spend $50, I send you all three make and takes. And I'll show you really quickly. This is how I send them. So this is make and take one. You have everything in that envelope that you need to make that card. This is make and take two, and then this is the box I'm getting ready to show you right now. So what I do is I package everything up in these nice little cellophane bags and send them to you. And then that's why I do these videos, so you know how to put the projects together. And I include everything that you're seeing here. And then also, if you are a regular customer of mine or shop with me, these are only current for a year. They're only good for a year. It's valid for 1 year from the date of your first order is how that works. But every time you spend $50 in my online store, you track your order here, and that's before shipping and tax. And then you fill in down here the $40 worth of Stampin' Up! Product that you want me to send you. I place the order with Stampin' Up!, they mail it to me, and then I send it directly to you, or I have them mail it directly to you. And for February, it's my birthday month, I'm also doing another promotion, and that is if you, when you spend $50, you'll also earn a celebration item, and then I'm also sending you a Simply Chamois and a stamp case to store it in. So, gosh, that's enough talking. Let's get started. The stamps that I'm going to use to make the box is Happy Birthday to You. I'm using the cake and then the Celebrate. And then I'm using our nested, stitched nested label dies. And I used the biggest one to create the little top for the box. I'm using Thick Whisper White is the base of the box, but everything else that I'm going to send is just going to be regular Whisper White cardstock. So to start out, I have a piece of Thick Whisper White that is cut at 8 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then I need to move my directions closer because I can't really see them that well. So give me just a second. And so what we're going to do is score it on the long side at 1 1/4, 3 1/2, 4 3/4. Whoops, about missed that one up. 4 3/4 and 7. And then you're going to turn it on the short side and score it at 1 1/4. Whoops, I didn't go all the way down. Let me do that one again. 1 1/4, turn it and score it again at 1 1/4. Okay? Hold on just a second. I have to turn my heater off. I'm getting a little bit hot. Okay, now let me grab my bone folder. And we're just going to furnish our score marks. So just fold in and give it a nice crisp score mark. Okay. And then what you're going to do on one of the ends, on the smaller ones, we're going to cut the tabs completely away. Okay, so just cut those away. We don't need those. And then on this one, excuse me, we're just going to cut up. And I'm just going to kind of cut that little wedge that's left behind. I'm just going to cut that out. And I've tried to learn not to pull on them because sometimes I've ripped my cardstock, and then we're going to churn it and do the same thing on these. If we can cut right in the middle, sometimes that alleviates that, but I always just go back in if I can see that little piece left and just cut it away. Oops, and there I cut on my tab, but that doesn't matter because that's going to get folded in. This one I'm just going to cut just a little bit of that away, fold it in, and I'm just going to trim that off right there. Turn it, and we're going to do the same thing right here. Just trim that away. Okay. Now that we have all those, excuse me, out of the way, so this is going to be the front flap. So we're going to fold these up like this, or actually it's this way. It's going to be like that, and then we're going to fold these two pieces in, and they're going to fold like that, and then that's going to be the front of the box right there. So the first thing I want to do before I glue those down, because I want to cut away that little notch right there, is I just kind of eyeballed it and then I took my 3/4 inch punch, I lined this end up with that first score mark and try to do it right in the center, and that gives you enough of that so you know what the person can see. Now, see how those are showing? We don't want that, so let's just trim a little bit off each one of those. So when we close it, let's close it up again and make sure that we trimmed enough. Yep, see, so then that way it's not showing through. So I'm just going to grab tear tape, and you could use Tombow if you want to. And we're just going to place, I'm going to rip these in two. I made them a little bit too long. So let's go ahead and put 2 pieces down on each one of them. And again, I'm just going to tear off and then just rip it in two. Okay. And then, where is my take your pick tool? There it is. So we'll just take the backing off each one of those. And then you're just going to fold that up, keeping it all square. Fold that one up. Give it a nice little push so that way you know. Now these, we're going to do the same thing. We want this to fold in, and we're going to keep it square. So we're going to put tear tape on these 2 tabs. And you could use the liquid glue, the multi-purpose liquid glue. Would work just as good. I just feel like tear tape is really good for 3D, like for boxes and things like that. It's kind of like what I like to use. Okay. And then I like to take my fingernail and just give that like a good push on it with my fingernail. It kind of helps it adhere to the paper a little bit better, I think. Okay. And just take one side, and we're just going to fold that in, and just make sure you're keeping it nice and square. And let's do the same thing on that side. Okay. Now, I felt like these tabs, I mean, you can make them work if you push them a little bit hard, but it kind of makes the box bow a little bit. So what I chose to do was I just trimmed them like so. And I always have to look at this just like that. You just want to trim them just enough to where that's not going to interfere, and that's going to fold in there, and then you're just going to fold this part in there like that. Okay? See how easy that is? Now, let's move this out of the way, and we can start our stamping. Now, one thing for sure, you want to make sure that you put your ribbon down before we glue these 2 pieces down, but we're not there yet, so I'll show you that when we do get there. So I'm going to take the cake image. I'm going to ink it up. I'm just using Memento ink. And I'm just going to stamp it right in the center of this, like so. I'm just going to leave it there just a minute. Okay. That kind of happened on my first one. I don't think I inked it up well enough right there in that center, so we need to be careful about that. When you're doing that, make sure you have it inked up where you need it. So I'm going to take this little strip and open up the Call Me Clover, and I'm just going to go ahead and put the Celebrate. I'm going to do it towards the left end because I'm going to banner the right end. Okay. Then I've got my Stampin' blends, and I've got the dark Call Me Clover and the light Call Me Clover, the dark Purple Posy and the light Purple Posy, and then I also brought in the light Blackberry Bliss. So the first thing I did was I wanted to make sure I got all of the leaves, the stems and things like that colored in. So I just went around doing all of that first because they can kind of blend in and kind of look like they might be a flower petal. So I like to eliminate. I kind of got out of the lines right there, so you'll have to excuse me. It's kind of hard to do this and talk at the same time, and make sure you have your head out of the way. I would be much closer if I could be, but I don't want my head to be in the way of the video, so I have to kind of just stand straight upright to do this. Okay. And then we'll go back over this with the dark if we feel like we want to do some shading. You don't have to do that. You can leave it if you want to. And I'm going to try not to talk while I do these because these are so tiny as I'm talking when I say I'm not going to. I just felt like the Call Me Clover with these purple colors just blended in so well. Okay, I think I got all... Oh, maybe one right here. And see, I'm not sure if that maybe is supposed to be a petal, but if it was, we're not going to say it is, and we just made it a leaf. Then I'm going to take the Call Me Clover, the dark, and just kind of just go over these lines that are already visible, just to add a little bit of shading. Kind of like that. And like I said, you don't have to do this part if you don't want to. I just think it kind of makes the card pop a little bit. Okay, oh, I think I forgot this one. Okay, now I'm going to use the light Purple Posy, and we're just going to start coloring. The light Purple Posy I really think has a pink, a really pink tint to it. So let's just color it. Now I'm not going to color the center of the flower because we're going to use that. I did the dark Purple Posy and I didn't think it was quite as dark as I wanted it to be, and I'll show you what I mean. I'll do it with it, and then I did use the what did I say this was? Yeah, Blackberry Bliss. I did use that to actually go over it because I wanted it to be a little bit darker. Okay. And I'm hurrying. I know that you guys will do a much better job than what I am. I'm just trying to make the video not be 20 minutes long. I don't know if you guys are like me, but I have a lot to do, and when videos are up like 20 minutes long, unless it's something I really, really, really want to see, I kind of skip and find a different video that doesn't take so long. That might be mean to say, but we are all very busy right now. I think everybody has such busy lives. Okay, now I'm going to take the Blackberry Bliss. Oh, I told you I would show you. So let me show you the dark. Let me make sure I just picked up the right one. So the dark Purple Posy. I mean, it does make it darker, but I wanted mine to be just a little bit darker than that. So that's why I chose to use this, the Blackberry Bliss. I just wanted it to be a little bit darker than what it was. Then I'm going to do the cake stand in the same color. Let me open up the wider end. I feel like I move faster when I have the wider end. You just got to kind of be more careful because the end is, of course, bigger, and it would be easier to get outside your lines, and you don't want to do that. Then I'm going to go back with the dark Purple Posy, and then wherever these marks are on the cake, I just kind of highlighted them. Just kind of run your blender pen just right over. Okay, something like that. Then I went in with the Blackberry Bliss and colored these little bits. Just, I didn't want everything to be just two colors. I wanted some darkness to it. Okay. Let's see this one down here. Okay. Now I'm going to go back with the dark, I'm just making sure I'm laying these wherever, the dark purple posy. Oh, and I want the whiter end. And I'm just going to lightly go around different areas where I feel like there would be some darkness. Of course, there in the center. And then this is a good way here to try to mask your little faux pas when I didn't stamp that very good. I didn't have it inked up quite enough right there. And then you can just put the shading wherever you want. I mean, wherever you think that there would be shades on that flower. You can do something like that. Now, if you wait and let it dry a little bit, and then you decide you're going to go back over it, it will be a little bit darker. So just so you know that. So if you want to wait, let this kind of set in, and then just go back over it, it will be darker. So wherever I've colored, okay, now I feel like I'm getting carried away with the shading. Okay, now let's see. I think that's it. I think I have everything colored. So the next thing we want to do is I need to grab my ribbon, and I'm using the Whisper White. I think it's oh, I thought this one was called Ruche, but I guess it's not. So now let me see if I can get this opened, if I can find. I used all of my other, let me find my snips. I always hate doing this because I'm afraid I'm going to cut the ribbon. Actually, okay, I got it coming out there. There we go. Okay, now I just eyeballed it. So this is the top of the box. And you want enough that you're going to be able to make a nice bow and you're not going to come up short. That might be way too much. Let me see. So just kind of wrap it around like this. I'm going to try to pull that a little bit because I don't want to waste my ribbon. I'm going to kind of do like that. And I think that that is going to give me more than enough of what I'm going to need to make this work. Now, my little secret to make this stay in place is I'm going to put a piece of tape right there, and then flip it over, and put another piece of tape right here on the bottom. Flip it back over. Now this is going to be our bottom. So on our bottom of our box, I'm going to take a couple of strips of tear tape and put right down and trim that piece off. I'm going to put about 3, should be enough. I'm going to open it so I can use my bone folder or my finger to go in there and make sure that I really get that. I don't want to scratch my paper, so get that really stuck there on the bottom. And then we'll just close this piece back. And where is my... You guys, I have so much stuff laying out. It's laying right in front of me and I can't see it. Okay. Okay, now I'm just going to fold that over. Now this is the bottom, so I'm just going to kind of center it, flip it over. Okay, now this is going to be the front right here. So I'm going to take and put 3 strips right here. 2 is probably enough, but when you're giving this as a gift, you really want to make sure. I'm gonna again open the lid and really push down on that so I know it's adhered really good to the top of the box. Okay, so right now I'm not going to adhere that because I do want to use the Wink of Stella, and I just kind of went around and just lightly, you can go on those little berry pieces. I just really wanted to make sure the flowers were really the focal point of the card. Okay, so we're going to do that. Now I'm going to take these sentiments and I'm going to take my bone folder. I'm going to kind of break down the fibers. I'm just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Ended on an up one, I think. I'm going to grab 2 dimensionals and I'm going to place one on one end and one on the other. Now I don't like where I messed up, so I am going to use that to block that so nobody can see that I didn't ink up my stamp set very well. Okay, so I'm just going to place this. Oh, you know what? I forgot to banner that. Hold on. Let's take that off. I'm just going to hold that right there. I even have my triple banner punch laying right here in front of me. Let me just banner that. And it's sticking to my arm. Okay, and so then we'll put that on. I might have to grab another one if that lost its stickiness. So I'm going to put that there, and then I just pushed just a little bit when I put that other one. And see, now they'll never know. Only you guys will know. That's what you do with your mistakes. You use your embellishments to cover them. I was talking to one of my friends last night that is a customer, and she made me a birthday card and sent it to me and was telling me the struggles that she had, and that's what she had put some rhinestones on, was to cover her mistake. Okay, you just want to make sure you're getting it, you know, level on each ends. Get it on there straight. Tuck those back in and tuck that in. Then we're going to, and that was plenty of ribbon. Way more than what I needed. But I wanted to make sure I had enough. Okay, and then you of course can cut off your excess, but I'm just going to leave mine because I kind of like it. Now we're going to take some rhinestones, and I'm going to use the dark, the light Blackberry Bliss, and I'm just going to color some random, I'm going to use the wider tip, it's easier, just some random size stones. So I'm going to do 2 in that. How many did I use on the other one? And then a couple of the smaller ones. So I'm just dab, dab, dab. And of course, if you wait and let that dry, and then I'm going to do that size and maybe one like of the medium. So just if you do this first and let them dry, whoops, I didn't mean to color that one, you're going to get a darker look. But with me, the sake of the video, we've got to hurry. I don't have time to let it dry. Let me kind of move those out of the way. I have one floating around on my counter, so we'll put him back over there and save him for a later date. And then I'm just going to try not to touch them with my finger because I don't want to take off the ink. I don't know if it's dry or not, but I'm just going to randomly place those. They seem to be dry already. I'm just going to put them diagonally on the sentiment, and then I'm going to grab one and put up in the corner, if I can put one right there. And then I think I'm going to put a smaller one like right here. And then let's do these 2 small ones down towards the bottom. We'll put one here, and we'll put another one like right there. Okay guys, that is it. make sure that you visit my blog. It's bobbystamps.com, and I have all the information about my free make and take packets, and I also post the videos there too as well as YouTube. Thanks guys, bye bye.